Hello everybody and welcome back to a Solitaire mystery. It's been about 4 or some odd days, 6, week, whatever. I've played, it's been a bit. It's time for the next one though. Lock Solitaire, a simple variation of a traditional Solitaire setup. Every time you move a card, it gets locked in place for 2 moves. Thus, you'll need to consider your resources carefully so as not to get stuck. That sounds very interesting. So, let me double check in the rule. What is it? Cards are stacked in the middle slots in an alternating red-blue pattern. Okay. That's one of the important things. Either ascending or descending. Okay. That's useful now. Every time you place a card anywhere, that slot is locked for the next 2 moves. A locked slot can't be interacted with. Okay, so I'm just trying to get a bearing of like what I have. I see some ways to unbury stuff, and I think I'm just going to start with that because I can go like 12, like 13. Oh. Not exactly what I thought. But this all kind of accomplishes the same thing. And was still like my intentions. Although this has some interesting ramifications. I may be stuck. I may already be stuck. I think I'm already stuck. Okay, let's go back. I guess the first step is figure out where the 2s are. At the very bottom, at the very bottom, at the very bottom, and basically the bottom. Okay. So I have to... I think this stack is my best to go for because there's 2 2s at the bottom. How I'm going to move this 6, I do not know. One thing I'm looking ahead at, though, is that 13. And now the idea is, like, I can throw that 13 down and then get the 12 down, and then I'll be able to put the 13 on it while clearing up a little bit of room. That 9 might be useful, I'm thinking. The 6 is the biggest problem to me. The other thought is then, like, where are those 3? Well, one of the 3s is right there. That shouldn't be terribly difficult to get to. One of the other 3s is right there. Yeah, that's... So it does unfortunately seem like a good path to go for. It's just a matter of how the hell do I move this 6? One of the options is buried, but that could mean temporarily throwing it down. Would there be a spot? So this 13 I'm going to be wanting down, right? Because we're going to want 13, then the 12, then the 13. And I'm thinking moving that's a good idea because we'll have somewhere to put that 8. But then we'll need somewhere to put that 10. That 10 can go on that 11. So we can do that. Which kind of helps us for later on. Although, actually, maybe what we want to do is 8 onto it, and then we can move the 9 and 8 at the same time. No, because we don't... Excuse me. I can't. I don't know what happens. No, because we need to move that 8. Part of me thinks that you move the 6 out of the way. Now, obviously, you can't move the 8 yet, so you'll have to move the 12 now. Now you can move the 8. The 10 you can move. Now the 6 you actually can move because it's alternating. So last is just this 8, which would move on to there, but we have to wait for that. Yeah, there's some, I see that this causes some very weird, like we're stuck right now because things are frozen. So go back. We now know what has to happen. Now, how do we just get that to happen? The 13 is going to be there for a while, so maybe the first thing we want to do is put the 6 down. The 10... Oh, it's going to be going on that, so... Maybe... I think throwing the 13 down is a necessity. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter how I do those. That's how this is going to happen, I think. Although part of me has an idea, but I don't know how to make it happen. If we do... No, actually, I do need to do this the other order. God, this is such a complicated thing. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta, like... Just 1 second. Okay. Sorry, just allergies right now. It's just crazy. So, here was my idea. That is a 9. So, my idea is like a weird order moves. So we do that. We do that. We do that as a stalling move. Do that also kind of as a stalling move. And we do that. But I think I'm stuck again, aren't I? Yeah, the problem is really... Man. It's a tough problem of, like, how to actually get everything to happen. Because, like... Basically I have to do that. Oh, but what if I put it here instead? This might change some things. I just have to make one waiting move. I guess that's a waiting move. Yeah, okay. So we're getting there. Now, I don't want to touch the 2s yet because I might need those as waiting moves. Like, where can I put this 8? Nowhere. Oh, crap. Okay, that doesn't have anywhere it can go. We might just need to... Oh, that's also gonna have to wait. That's fucking insane. Oh, wow. Clearing that 7 would do a lot for me. Do we have another blue 6 around, actually? It's all the way down there. I feel like that's a move we're going to want to make, I think. Because my thought is that if we do that, we then gain access to the 9, which puts us close to that 3. There. Okay, so we've reached the first hurdle, but the next one is also going to be rather difficult. Thinking like also like we can. All of that can move. Where's the other red 12? It's all the way down there. So I feel like if I get to that, I mean that's helping get rid of more cards. I think so. Start touching some of the blue 11s. The blue 12 is kind of buried down there. Well, I guess if we're doing the 3, we basically have 2 things we're looking for. The 3s and then the following 4s. The 4 for that is down there. So getting to that's a smidge difficult because we're going to have to get rid of that red 6. That requires either a blue 5 or a blue 7. There's a blue 5 there. Blue 7 there. Blue 5, blue 7. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. So that 4 is probably not what we're going to be going for. We also just need to go for the other 2s at some point, but... Now that 3, where is the 4? Oh, right there. Oh, that's not terribly awful. It's not like the worst thing in the world to get to. You just have to plan your moves so carefully with this. I mean, I can tell you, like, my part of my intuition is just, like... I'm hesitant to touch the 8. Because the 8's going to require blue 7 or a blue 9. Now, obviously, that blue 9's taken. We have to use get down there, but that blue 8 requires a red 9 or red 7. Although we're going to be unburying a red 7, so that will be fine. I think we have enough to do this. Where you do that, do that, do that. That's the first step of things. Right, but where do I put that? Oh, that's the problem. I guess you don't move the 8 yet. I guess the idea is maybe you more do that, that, that. Fuck. So I have to wait for the... What if I do that first? Although, almost part of me is like... Do it like this. Which seems like a weird way to go about it, but at the same time, it's like, eh. We're going to be stacking on that. I think I should do that. Maybe that. And then we move those onto that. Okay, we're getting places. Because now we can put that onto there. Although we don't even necessarily want to do that yet. Because I need to think about what I'm unblocking and what I'm trying to accomplish. I think that 9 needs to be moved on to there. So maybe we should then. Maybe it is the next step. That as your waiting move. Although that, no, because that 8 kind of has to happen, doesn't it? My thought is really the 6. Because we can get to the 4. It is really my thought. If we can get to that 4, that'll be pretty good for us. We can just like move that 6 out of the way. Oh, there's also the idea of... That's 10, 11, 12. We can put that onto 13 after. So, hold on. Maybe we'll do this. We can put all that on there. There's a lot of thoughts about, like, what can be done with what, but the main thought for me right now is just, how do we accomplish things, period. Unfortunately, I think having this, like, reverse direction is actually better for me. Thinking next I want to get the 9, and then I want to get the 10, which makes it really annoying. Okay, yes, I just take a quick break. Alright, my nose is allergies are really brutal today. So we've gotten to this. All of that's a stack. They can be moved on to that 11 once we can free it. require the other red 12. We can break down that stack. You guys think about the other red 10. Well, that's at the very bottom of the stack, so that's almost like... Yeah, it's kind of far. Although I do want to break down to that stack, I think. Because it frees up the other red 12. So that's something I want to work towards. So now it's just a matter of how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to start breaking onto there. So maybe we do that. Huh. This raises some like questions on the exact way we want to go about things. This 10 is going to be going on there. Okay. But I don't know about making that move yet, just because like the 10's going to be going there. Then we have to move the 9 out of the way. So that's going to be a lot of moves that we need in order to do all that. So I'm thinking like what else is going to be done in the meantime? I mean, maybe we just start by doing it and then we work towards. We're just like thinking about everything else as well. I mean, I guess that 11 is something we're going to want to free up. We don't have a place to put it, is the problem. Well, we could move all those onto it. Let's just put the 4 there for now. Do that. Do that. Okay. We're very close to everything we were trying to accomplish. Oh, and then we have that as our waiting move. Isn't there... Yeah, I was just going to move like all of this. Although I guess start by doing that. That's definitely going to need to happen, but well, I guess that's something we really wanted to happen. So we'll do that. Maybe we try not to touch all that if we can help it. Or maybe, no, because you have to do it. You have to move the 12 first. Okay. But now I can start, like, getting this out of the way, I think, because the idea is going to be... doing a lot of stuff with it. 4 of hearts can be, like, our waiting. The goal was always to move all of this onto here. Although we don't need to do that necessarily yet. I mean, there's a thought to do this. That. Okay. And now I think all of this can go in there, which is lovely. Move that onto there, move that onto there, move that onto there. Move that to there. All of these. I guess we'll move it onto there right now. But I think now everything should kind of... Oh, yeah, what you should do is start with that. Then do that, then do that. I start with this. You've got that move, you've got that move, you've got that move, you've got that move. We should be able to just kind of... undo everything slowly here. This is where the alternating stuff kind of bites me in the ass a bit. We're going to be able to move that, so why don't we, like, start with that, that, that. Okay, see, everything kind of falls apart. It's just a matter of... We might... okay, I'm going to say, like, it'll auto-stack to a degree right now. Gets you a little further. We need to unbury that 10. There are moves. I think there's going to be a lot of moves available. And now it should... No, okay, well... Okay, now it'll auto-stack. There we go! Oh, we got 2 achievements. Win a game of Lock Solitaire, 10 victories, have 10 victories in total. Okay. That was a really fun one. I really liked how much I had to really think about every single move there carefully. It made it very interesting and very fun. And I enjoyed it. It was really tough at the beginning, and then it just, honestly, I mean, it's kind of like normal Solitaire. Once you start making progress, you are kind of, everything kind of starts to fall apart. A lot of fun. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. That was a lot of fun. Can't wait to check out the next one in the next video. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the playlist for this series, for any other series you might be interested in. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.